It started 2 years before I was old enough to join.
Weren't you a chartered member, Beth?
No.
Oh, I always thought you were.
No.
Well, I think about, what, 10 years ago, maybe we were about 35 years old, was it, Beth?
35. It was 60. We couldn't join until we were 65.
No, I'm talking about that the original Chimo Club was over there.
When did it start?
When did the Chimo
Well,
Club?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It started 2 years before I was old enough, so it must have started about, let's see, no. I don't know what the exact year it was.
There is a plaque here, something. We give all our stuff here. But I can't remember the date.
And you have all the pictures of the presidents anyway, so.
Yeah. Except mine, I wouldn't have mind taking because I was the 13th.
There's a photograph album with all the history in it that Winnie Campbell took.
Yeah.
Because she was great at keeping the pictures. So if the photograph album is up here, is over here, you'll find.
And the Chimo Club meant, why did you put the name Chimo Club?
Well, it was, now who was it that named it? It was Ida Croce's husband. What was his name?
Gus.
He named it. It's just because Chimo means friendship.
Okay.
The town let us have the old bank. That used to be a bank. And we paid $1 a year for the use of it.
That was our rent, $1 a year.
High rent.
We got a lot of good years out of that one. That, you know, just have fun in there. Like when I came there, I wasn't old enough to join you guys. Joined as an associate member because my husband was 65.
Yeah, I think we all did that.
Yeah.
It was the same with me.
Yeah.
I wasn't old enough. I could join, but I couldn't vote or anything.
Yeah.
So I waited until I was old enough.
But there was a big membership.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And we used to go on trips, bus trips. I remember a bus trip to Old Fort William. Another bus trip we took to Duluth. We went to see the
Lawrence
Welk show or go shopping, whichever you wanted. And I remember Mark Schreiber, she went shopping. I think a few decided that the older people didn't have anything to do, so they
needed a place to be together.
started it, I think, as a senior citizens club. Wife wanted to join, but the husband didn't want to, but it was okay. At that time, it was 65, and they reduced it to 60.
Yeah, to 60 when I joined.
When I joined, I joined at 55, and Bert was 9 months older than me, so he got in a year ahead of me.
Okay.
I married an old man. Well, you seem to have a lot going on there, Beth, at one time.
We had a lot of
you had a lot of cards?
We always played cards in there.
Yeah.
And
You said shoot pool, and play,
the men played pool in the basement. We got
shuffleboard.
When Fred Harness was president, he got a new pool table, and that was popular for a while.
Mm.
But the two that played regularly was
Darcy McGuire was one of them?
Yeah, he and one other. And then they both left town, so then it just sort of quit.
Yeah, nobody seemed to want to go downstairs to play pool, so
They said because when I was there, they said it was because it was too dark, so we decided to paint the room downstairs, and we painted it a nice bright white, and it still
didn't work.
Didn't work so.
Mr. McQuaig, I think, was the first president, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Which McQuaig was that?
Lester,
Inez's husband.
Inez's husband.
Yeah.
And then Tommy was going to be, and he moved away, so then somebody else took over. Now, who was
Was it
that?
Annie Tedesco?
Well, she was before him.
Or George Birch?
George Birch.
Yeah. And just thinking about them all.
George Birch, and then Helen Wallace, and then Gino Cacamo, and then me, and then, who was after me? Oh, Ken Davis, and then
you had that fellow that, what was that, Lappy's brother-in-law?
well that,
No, then the
Ray, yeah.
Ethan Miller's husband. What's his name? Your brother.
Oh, no, he was after me.
Yeah, he
that
was
was after
that.
him,
He
yeah.
was the last
He
one.
was the last one, I would say.
I know he always said that he wasn't getting his picture put in there. Okay, he said, we'll ask Avila for a baby picture. So he put a picture.
Avila wouldn't even have, no, not Avila. Irene wouldn't have her picture on the wall.
Because
I
I was
don't
the
know why.
13th president.
Irene who?
Me.
Oh, and then you know Mrs. McDonald was in there.
Yeah,
Mrs.
that's
Hart,
right.
she was
Yeah.
president.
Yeah, she was.
And so was that, what's her name, they're from Jackfish, but she didn't serve a full term.
Oh, yeah.
She only served 6 months, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't have her picture up.
Oh, what was her name? God.
Addie.
Addie Boyle?
Eddie Boyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was some terrorist. And the other president was Ray Wilson.
Yeah.
Ray Wilson, yeah. Little Ray.
Mhm.
And after Ray, I took it.
Was Ray after Ron?
Over,
I guess so, eh?
yeah. Was Ron in before Ray or after Ray?
No, I think Ron was after Ray.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And then it was you.
Ron was after Ray Wilson, wasn't he?
I'm sure he was.
I thought Ray Wilson was president just before me. I don't know, I'm not sure. So.
Well, they got the pictures anyway with the
Yeah.
dates, on
With
it.
the dates, so-
Yeah. Yeah.
How many years were you president, Beth?
Just 2. We all served 2 up until,
Yeah.
You know, that
Towards
was
the
long
end.
enough too, when, you know, when they're
Yeah.
retired and that. There's quite a bit to being president of a club like that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially back then when they had such a big membership and they were
Yeah.
doing so much and catering to different things, and so they were kept busy.
Yes, they were.
Mhm.
Yes?
when they had those spring tea, what is it they call that in the town has in the spring? It was, we would go to banquets and groups would have teas and so on.
The Heritage?
Heritage.
Or the Carnival or?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a day that we would entertain. And Art LeBlanc, he laughed at it to his end. I think he laughed about, he made a pot of soup. So when we got down to the hall to serve the soup, I said, "When did you make this?" He says, "I just made it yesterday." I said, "I think you forgot to put a lot of things in it." It was the wateriest looking soup I ever saw. And he'd laugh, and he'd laugh, and he'd laugh. He said, "Do you want me to make another pot
You
of
know, he
soup?"
often said that, and told us about that, you know.
Yeah.
He said, I was never asked to make soup. Maybe that's why he did it.
I often envied though, like you people that were in when it first started, and you were so active. Like we couldn't seem to get the members to do that when I come in.
Well, we were that much older.
Yeah,
But, you
that's
know,
right.
like, no, but it's just like we couldn't even get the younger group like myself involved in anything like that.
Oh, the
Like,
younger group, they never
They
came.
wouldn't even think about it, you know. That when I looked at some of the pictures, most of the pictures that they had beautiful times, you know.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the way it's going all over though.
Yeah,
The younger ones
yeah.
don't want to be involved.
When it was Halloween, the costumes were
Yeah.
terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember, you used to go to the different churches? Was Jack Handel never a president?
No, he was very
No.
active though.
No, he was,
Him and Winnie both.
well, Winnie was active right from the beginning of it. She was in charge of the kitchen, all the teas and that, and lunches.
She was a card though, eh, Winnie Campbell?
Oh, yes,
She was funny.
definitely.
She was playing cards one should I throw away, and he'd been dead about 10 years.
Yeah.
She always
Yeah,
spoke
she always
to
did
Joe.
that, yeah.
Yeah. It was funny. I was talking about how funny when he was because when Joe died, Joe King hadn't been here very long because I was looking after his phone for a minute. He come back from after the funeral. He come back from Winnie's and he's killing himself laughing. And I said to him, "What's so funny?" He said, "Irene, you'll never believe it." He said, "I was over at Winnie's for after the funeral and talking to her. She sat down beside me at the table and she said to him, says, 'Well, Joe, how much do I owe you? Do I owe you money or can we take it out and trade?'" He says, "I almost fell off my chair." But that was Winnie. Yeah.
Yeah, she was comical.
Mm-hmm.
And Helen was just the same.
Oh, yeah.
And she used to talk to Joe.
Yeah.
She used to talk to her dad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she often talked to you.
Yeah.
But like I said, I used to look at the pictures like that were taken, go through the album that night, really envied they had such good times. And, you know, like, I don't know, like it just, like I said, the younger crowd didn't want that, so, you know. And then it got to the point where we weren't bringing in enough money to even keep the place open. We couldn't afford to, so, you know. Which was sad. It was the best, saddest day of our life, but for all of it was very sad, so, you know. But anyway, that's the way
Yes,
that
our
goes.
rent might have been cheap, but it was the upkeep that we had to do.
Yeah. And because at one point, like if we needed doors changed or windows changed or anything, like we did some renovations in there one time. And they paid for that, but after that we had to pay for anything that we wanted, so. But they didn't complain because you were renting the place for $1 a year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miss Hadley left a good, some of her inheritance to the Chimo Club.
Yeah. But for a while there, we ran a few years. We used to have a bake sale. And then we also had lunches at the Winter Carnival or for Heritage Days, but then it got to be too much because there was a group of us. Remember the last time we made 5 or 6 loaves of sandwiches, you know, just to keep ourselves afloat. So we'd have enough sort of, you know, and it just got to the point where we just said that's enough, so.
A couple of Christmases, the Legion entertained us at suppers.
Yeah. I remember that too, so.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't it Mr. Monk from Terrace Bay was our Santa
He was
Claus?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He made a good Santa.
Oh, did he ever? Peter Monk, yeah, I hadn't thought
Peter
of him
Monk's,
for a
yeah.
while.
Yes, the early days of the Chimo Club was really great. And it was busy all day too. They played cards. The men would play cards in the mornings, you know.
Oh, in the afternoon too,
Well,
didn't
they
it?
did, sure.
It was mostly coffee in the morning, I think.
Well, they had,
I mean, that's when
they
most
had
of them
men
in.
too. But I left at Cosgrove. She would come in there in the morning to play cards.
Yeah.
And she'd bring her little girl. And she was really quite little then. And she would play under the table all the time. And, but she always sucked her thumb. So I teased her. I said, "You shouldn't be sucking that thumb." I said, "Something's going to happen to that thumb." And she'd look at me as much as say, "Oh, keep quiet." And so I said, "You see that man over there? See what happened? Let him show you his thumb. What happened to him? Because he had a thumb off." So I sent her over to look at his hand because he lost a thumb. Anyway, it was last, what was I doing it somewhere this year?
We were at Heritage Luncheon and she stopped and talked.
And she stopped and talked to me. And she says, introduced herself, and now here she is a mother now, you see. And she had her little girl with her. And so she says, "I want to tell you, I stopped sucking my thumb."
I guess
That guy
so.
lost his. Well, it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Bernard Barady.
Bernard Parody.
You probably
He lived
didn't
over
know.
there on the,
He lived across the street from me on Main Street.
yeah. Just down the street from the funeral home. Bertha Parody. She was another really, she was a real card, Bertha Parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been gone a long time from here.
Yeah. And Skip Davis, my goodness, she was funny.
Wasn't Ken president too?
Yes, he was
Yeah, I thought he
president.
was.
Mhm. Yeah, he followed. Did I follow him? No, he
Helen
followed.
Wallace was the president too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gino followed Helen, and I followed Gino, and Ken followed me.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it went. And we each
I
had,
don't know how you can remember these things.
we each had 2 years in turn until the end, and then we couldn't get new presidents. Irene,
Me.
but she wouldn't be installed the last time.
I wouldn't have my picture up on the wall.
She wouldn't have her picture on the wall, and she didn't want to be installed as president. She says, I'll be vice president. I thought, well, we can't operate without a president.
I was an acting president. I took over anyways.
Well, we didn't know you as such.
Mm.
You were vice president as far as we
Yeah,
were
good.
So
concerned.
nobody else would run as president, so. But anyway, we kept it afloat for a couple of years, but after that it was, yeah.
But there was a lot of good times in the
Yeah.
earlier
Oh,
days.
yes.
I remember Mrs. Heward and Winnie dressing up for Halloween.
Yeah.
They were a scream. Because Mrs. Heward was very quiet. But she would come out all dressed up in finery, funny clothes. And because she was so quiet, we wondered underneath that mask, was she laughing?
It was.
You know?
Maybe she was.
Because she was so quiet and never spoke much, and Winnie was just the opposite. She was hilarious, but they were both so funny.
But there was a lot of good times at the Chimo Club, a lot of laughs, and Skip Davis, I remember her so well. I'd come in the mornings, and me and Skip and Beth would play cards.
I have so many good memories of the Chimo Club, good times there, and the people that were members that we missed, Bern Jacob was hilarious always. Tukani.
Yeah.
They were both members.
I think my fondest memories would be just the fellowship and being able to look forward to the girls coming in the morning for coffee, and like even when Skip Davis was there and sitting around playing cards and yakking and talking, and it was fellowship. It was a lot of fellowship. A lot of
Just being around the
Yeah.
people all the time.
Yeah.
Just being a member of the
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Um,
And we'd have shuffleboard. Every Tuesday we had shuffleboard. We started in the fall.
I enjoyed the shuffleboard
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, you used to really like shuffleboarding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was never very good at it.
We had fun with it though. With Shireen and Archie really enjoyed
That's the
it.
main thing.
Yeah. You didn't have to be a good player to join it, just
I think,
It was
what's his
fun time.
name, Ray. Ray and I won the shuffleboard
Very Wilson.
one year.
Yeah, Eva and I won it one year too.
Yes, you did, yeah.
And then I was on different teams that won.
And then they used to play bocce ball behind Collingwood,
yeah.
in the grassy spot between there and the
Oh,
outdoor
yeah.
arena. And
Yeah,
that was fun to watch.
Ray and I were partners at that. That was a great summer.
It was fun. My run, I got the booby prize.
It wasn't like wasn't very any competition at all in the seniors. It was just getting out, and being
Having
together, and
fun.
having fun.
Oh, there was competition for those that were serious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think you remember
But most
that.
of us were, most of us were relaxed and just happy to be together. So yeah. All good things have to come to an end, though, eh?
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.